In the vibrant automotive landscape of the 1950s, one car stood out as a remarkable fusion of British engineering excellence, Italian design mastery, and American entrepreneurial spirit. The Arnolt-Bristol wasn't just another sports car. It was the embodiment of one man's vision to create something extraordinary. This is the story of Stanley Harold Wacky Arnolt II, a Chicago businessman whose ambitious dreams gave birth to one of the most intriguing vehicles of its era, and how his creation left an indelible mark on automotive history. In the bustling streets of 1907 Chicago, Stanley Harold Arnolt II was born into a world that would soon be transformed by the automotive revolution. His journey from a small-time industrialist to a notable figure in the sports car world began in 1932 when he established the Arnolt Corporation with just 3 employees. The company's initial focus was simple: manufacturing automobile lubricating devices, but Arnold's innovative spirit would soon lead him down a more ambitious path. During World War II, Arnold's company made a significant breakthrough with the Seamite marine engine. This revolutionary power plant weighed 1/3 less than its competitors while matching their horsepower output. The achievement wasn't just a technical triumph, it was a crucial contribution to the war effort that established Arnolt as a serious player in the engine manufacturing business. The nickname Wacky came from an adventure that perfectly captured Arnold's bold character. In a publicity stunt that could have ended badly, he attempted to cross Lake Michigan in a small open boat powered by his Seamite engine. Despite challenging conditions and thick fog that would have deterred most people, Arnolt completed the journey. The nickname stuck, and he wore it proudly as a badge of his adventurous spirit. The early 1950s marked a turning point in Arnold's career. His passion for automobiles led him to import British cars, MGs, Rileys, and Morris Minors, to the United States. But it was at the 1952 Turin Auto Show in Italy where fate would intervene. There, he encountered something that would change his life: custom-bodied MGs, crafted by the prestigious Italian design house, Bertone. The sight of these beautiful machines sparked an idea that would lead to his first venture into custom sports car production. Arnold's business acumen showed in his immediate decision to purchase 200 of these Bertone-bodied MGs. These vehicles, sold as Arnolt MGs in the United States, proved successful enough to fuel his ambitions for something even more impressive. The stage was set for the creation of the Arnolt-Bristol. The birth of the Arnolt-Bristol began with a deal between Arnolt and Bristol Cars Limited in the United Kingdom. The agreement called for 200 of Bristol's 404 series chassis, each equipped with a sophisticated 1,971 cc 6-cylinder engine capable of producing 130 horsepower. These chassis made their way to Carrozzeria Bertone in Italy, where the talented designer Franco Scaglione worked his magic, creating bodies that would turn heads wherever they appeared. The technical specifications of the Arnolt-Bristol revealed a car built for both performance and style. Its ladder-type frame stretched across a 96.2-inch wheelbase, with an overall length of 167 inches, width of 68 inches, and height of 44 inches. The suspension system was equally well thought out, featuring a rigid rear axle supported by semi-elliptic leaf springs and hydraulic shock absorbers. Torsion bars in the rear and anti-roll bars up front ensured stable handling, while drum brakes provided the stopping power. Under the hood, the Bristol straight-six engine was a masterpiece of British engineering. Equipped with 3 Solex 32 BI carburetors, it generated 132 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 128 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 revolutions per minute. This power was channeled through a 4-speed manual transmission, and with a lightweight body keeping the total weight around 2,100 pounds, the Arnolt-Bristol delivered impressive performance for its time. The car was offered in 3 distinct versions to cater to different markets. The competition model, known as the Bolide, was a stripped-down racer priced at $3,995 in 1956. The more luxurious deluxe version, featuring side windows and a convertible top, commanded $4,995. The rare coupe model, with its distinctive pop-up headlights, topped the range at $5,995. To put these prices in perspective, a 1956 Chevrolet Corvette cost $3,149, making the Arnolt-Bristol a premium offering in the sports car market. The racing heritage of the Arnolt-Bristol is perhaps its most impressive chapter. The car's first major success came at the 1955 12 Hours of Sebring, where Arnold's team entered 3 cars. The results were spectacular. First, second, and fourth places in the Sports 2000 class, plus the team trophy. The legendary René Dreyfus, making his final competitive appearance, was part of this historic achievement. The following year brought more glory at Sebring, with the team securing first and second in class. However, the 1957 season cast a dark shadow over the program when driver Bob Goldich lost his life in a tragic accident during his first lap at Sebring, driving a car he shared with Wacky Arnolt himself. This devastating event led to a 2-year withdrawal from racing, demonstrating how the thrill of motorsport could quickly turn to tragedy in that era. The team's return to Sebring in 1960 proved their resilience. An aluminum-bodied Arnolt-Bristol claimed victory in its class and finished 14th overall, while other team cars secured 4th and 10th in class. This performance earned them another team prize, cementing the car's reputation as a formidable competitor. Beyond the factory racing program, the Arnolt-Bristol found success in Sports Car Club of America, SCCA, events. Its combination of lightweight and excellent handling made it competitive against more powerful opponents, earning respect from racing enthusiasts across the country. The Arnolt-Bristol story is also one of exclusive production and lasting value. Of the original plan for 200 units, only 142 were actually built. The car's high price point and specialized nature meant some examples remained unsold for years, with the final car featuring a distinctive 4-headlight design, not finding a buyer until 1968. Today, approximately 85 Arnolt-Bristols survive, each one a testament to this unique collaboration between 3 nations. These surviving examples are highly prized by collectors who appreciate their distinctive blend of British engineering precision, Italian design flair, and American entrepreneurial spirit. The car's development also highlights the innovative spirit of the 1950s sports car scene. The various factory options offered, including 11-inch Alphen drum brakes, convertible tops, front sway bars, remote shifters, Barani knockoff steel wheels, and different rear-end gear ratios, showed a commitment to customization that was ahead of its time. Later improvements, such as the availability of 12-inch bell-shaped Bristol drums in 1959 and the option to retrofit Bristol front disc brakes in 1961, demonstrated ongoing development even as production was winding down. The Arnolt-Bristol stands as a reminder of an era when individual vision could still shape the automotive industry. Stanley Arnold's journey from manufacturing marine engines to creating internationally renowned sports cars exemplifies the entrepreneurial spirit that drove innovation in the post-war period. His willingness to take risks, whether crossing Lake Michigan in a small boat or investing in an ambitious international automotive project, set him apart from his contemporaries. Imagine a car so rare that spotting one is like witnessing a ghost from Britain's racing past. In 1939, as Europe stood on the brink of war, 3 men in a small workshop in Tolworth created something extraordinary, the HRG 1500. Only 111 were ever built, but this lightweight warrior would humble giants like Ferrari and Alfa Romeo at Le Mans, introduce radio communication to racing, and inspire a generation of sports cars. Its story isn't just about speed or style. It's about how 3 dreamers named Halford, Robbins, and Godfrey dared to challenge the automotive establishment with nothing but determination and engineering brilliance. The story begins in 1936 in the quiet town of Tolworth, Surrey. 3 men, Major Edward Halford, Guy Robbins, and Henry Ronald Godfrey, shared a singular vision. United by their passion for engineering excellence, they founded HRG Engineering Company, taking the first letters of their surnames to create what would become a legendary mark in British automotive history. Their masterpiece, the HRG 1500, embodied the essence of pure sports car design. At its heart lay a sophisticated 1,496cc 4-cylinder engine borrowed from Singer's 12 GP model. This power plant was no ordinary motor. Featuring a single overhead camshaft design, it was remarkably advanced for its era. The engine produced 61 brake horsepower at 4,800 revolutions per minute, propelling the lightweight chassis to speeds of up to 86 miles per hour. Impressive figures for the late 1930s. The transmission system showcased equally thoughtful engineering. A 4-speed manual gearbox equipped with synchromesh on second, third, and fourth gears provided smooth power delivery to the rear wheels. This setup might seem basic by today's standards, but in the 1930s and 40s, it represented the pinnacle of automotive technology. The HRG 1500's chassis was a masterwork of simplicity and effectiveness. Measuring 8 feet 10 inches in length, the ladder-type frame provided exceptional rigidity while keeping weight to a minimum. The suspension system employed quarter-elliptic leaf springs at the front and semi-elliptic leaf springs at the rear, striking a delicate balance between comfort and handling prowess. Every aspect of the car's design reflected a commitment to performance and driver engagement. The brake system, featuring cable-operated mechanical drums on all 4 wheels, required regular maintenance but provided reliable stopping power. The body construction showcased traditional British craftsmanship, aluminum panels mounted on a wooden frame, creating a structure that was both light and strong. The cockpit of the HRG 1500 was a driver's sanctuary. A leather-clad dashboard housed 7 chrome bezel gauges, while a Brooklyn-style 4-spoke steering wheel provided precise control. This wasn't just transportation. It was a purpose-built machine for the driving enthusiast. The company offered several variants of the HRG 1500. The standard 2-seater open sports car was the most common, but between 1945 and 1949, they produced 45 units of the rare aerodynamic model. This special version featured curved fenders, a tapered tail, and a sloping windshield, modifications that enhanced both performance and visual appeal. Production numbers tell a story of exclusivity. Only 111 HRG 1500s were built between 1939 and 1956, each one handcrafted in the Tolworth factory. World War II interrupted production as the company redirected its efforts toward the war effort, but this pause only added to the car's mystique. The HRG 1500's racing heritage is perhaps its most impressive chapter. In 1938, the car made its mark at the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans. Driven by Peter Clark and Marcus Chambers, it finished 10th overall, the highest-placed British car in the race. The following year, they returned to claim victory in the 1.5-liter class, cementing HRG's reputation in international motorsport. After the war, the racing successes continued. In 1947, HRG secured 3rd place in the Grand Prix des Frontières at Chimay, Belgium, and won the team prize in the Isle of Man Empire Trophy race. The 1948 Spa 24-hour race brought another team victory and a significant innovation. HRG pioneered the use of two-way radios for driver pit communication, a practice that would become standard in modern racing. The car's appeal extended beyond professional racing. Its relative affordability made it popular among amateur racers, who modified their HRG 1500s for club racing and hill climbs. These privateers contributed to the car's reputation for performance and reliability, proving that the HRG 1500 could compete with more expensive machinery. Each HRG 1500 represented countless hours of meticulous craftsmanship. The placement of components was carefully considered. In the aerodynamic model, for instance, the fuel tank was mounted under the left front wing, with the spare wheel housed under the right, optimizing weight distribution and space utilization. The legacy of the HRG 1500 extends far beyond its production years. Today, surviving examples are highly prized by collectors and enthusiasts, commanding significant prices at auctions. These cars continue to participate in vintage racing events where their performance and handling characteristics still impress modern audiences. In the late 1950s, as Britain's automotive industry was reaching new heights, a small manufacturer in Thames Ditton, Surrey, embarked on an ambitious project. The AC Cars Company, known for crafting exclusive sports cars, unveiled a vehicle that would become one of the rarest and most intriguing grand tourers of its era, the AC Greyhound. With just 83 units ever produced between 1959 and 1963, this elegant 2+2 coupe represented a perfect blend of performance, luxury, and practicality. Today, we delve into the fascinating story of this forgotten British classic that challenged giants like Aston Martin and Jaguar. The story begins in October 1959 at the London Motor Show, where AC Cars proudly presented their latest creation to the world. The AC Greyhound was conceived as a more practical alternative to the company's successful AC Ace and Seca models. While these two-seater sports cars had established AC's reputation for performance, the company recognized a growing market for vehicles that could combine sporting credentials with family practicality. The Greyhound's development showcased AC Cars' engineering prowess. The chassis design began with extending the wheelbase of their existing platform by 10 inches, bringing it to a total of 100 inches. This extension wasn't merely about adding space. It was about creating a balanced grand tourer that could compete with established names in the market, particularly the Aston Martin DB2/4. Each Greyhound featured a hand-formed aluminum body, mounted on a robust ladder frame chassis. This combination of lightweight materials and sturdy construction created a vehicle that was both rigid and nimble. The decision to use aluminum wasn't just about weight savings. It also meant each car required skilled craftsmen to shape and fit every panel, making each Greyhound essentially a bespoke creation. The engineering team at AC Cars made significant improvements to the suspension system. Gone was the traditional transverse leaf spring setup found in the Ace and a Seca. Instead, the Greyhound featured independent coil springs at the front, complemented by semi-trailing arms with independent coil springs at the rear. This sophisticated suspension setup was ahead of its time, offering superior handling and ride comfort compared to many contemporaries. The braking system was equally impressive for its era. The front wheels were equipped with 11.75-inch disc brakes, while the rear used 11-inch drum brakes. This combination provided reliable stopping power, essential for a car capable of reaching speeds over 110 miles per hour. The addition of rack and pinion steering ensured precise control and feedback to the driver, making the Greyhound both fast and manageable. One of the most interesting aspects of the Greyhound was its engine options. AC Cars offered customers a choice of 4 different straight-six engines, each with its own character. The standard 2.0-liter AC Cars overhead cam engine produced a modest 75 horsepower at 4,500 revolutions per minute, suitable for those seeking a more relaxed driving experience. For those craving more performance, the 2.0-liter Bristol 100 D2 overhead valve engine delivered 125 horsepower at 5,750 revolutions per minute. The 2.2-liter Bristol engine option struck a balance with 105 horsepower at 4,700 revolutions per minute. However, the most powerful choice was the 2.6-liter Ford Zephyr engine, producing an impressive 170 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute. Each engine was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, and buyers could opt for an overdrive unit for more relaxed high-speed cruising. The performance capabilities of the Greyhound were thoroughly tested by the Motor Magazine in 1961. Using a Bristol engine version with overdrive, they recorded a top speed of 110 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 11.4 seconds. Fuel economy was reasonable for a performance car of the era, achieving 21.8 miles per imperial gallon. The test car's price of £3,185, including taxes, positioned it in the premium segment of the market. The interior of the Greyhound reflected AC Cars' attention to detail and luxury. The cabin featured high-quality leather upholstery and wood veneer accents throughout. The dashboard housed a comprehensive array of instruments, including a speedometer, tachometer, and gauges for fuel level, oil pressure, and water temperature. The classic wood-rimmed steering wheel with 3 metal spokes added both aesthetic appeal and tactile pleasure to the driving experience. While the Greyhound was marketed as a 2+2, the rear seats were best suited for children or short journeys. The front seats could slide forward for rear access, and the wide opening doors made entry and exit relatively graceful. The large windows and rear quarter glass provided excellent visibility, essential for a grand tourer designed for long-distance travel. Practicality wasn't forgotten, with a rear hatch providing access to a reasonable luggage compartment. This feature distinguished the Greyhound from pure sports cars, making it suitable for weekend getaways and touring. The car's sound insulation and comfortable ride quality further enhanced its grand touring credentials. Despite its impressive specifications and versatile nature, the Greyhound faced significant challenges in the market. The hand-built construction process, while ensuring quality, meant that production was slow and labor-intensive. This contributed to a high purchase price, placing the Greyhound in direct competition with more established luxury brands. The market segment was fiercely competitive, with rivals like the Aston Martin DB4, Jaguar Mark II, and Porsche 356 offering compelling alternatives. These competitors often benefited from stronger brand recognition or more competitive pricing. As a result, the Greyhound's production run ended in 1963 after just 83 units. The Greyhound's limited production numbers have ironically contributed to its current desirability among collectors. Each surviving example represents a unique piece of British automotive history, showcasing the craftsmanship and engineering innovation of AC cars. The aluminum construction, which made production challenging, has helped many examples survive, as the bodies were naturally resistant to corrosion. Restoring a Greyhound today presents unique challenges. The hand-built nature of these cars means that parts can't simply be ordered from a catalog. Each component must often be specially fabricated or sourced from the limited pool of surviving cars. This has created a small but dedicated community of specialists who understand the intricacies of these vehicles. The technical innovations featured in the Greyhound were ahead of their time. The independent suspension system, aluminum construction, and focus on weight reduction foreshadowed developments that would become industry standards decades later. Even the concept of a practical performance car with occasional rear seating has become a popular format in modern sports cars. The AC Greyhound story is more than just about numbers produced or performance figures. It represents a pivotal moment in AC Cars history, demonstrating the company's ability to create sophisticated grand tours alongside their sports cars. While the later AC Cobra would overshadow the Greyhound in terms of fame, the 2+2 Coupe showcased the company's engineering capabilities and commitment to innovation,